This video is brought to you by 86. Pick up video game apparel from Skullgirls and Monster Hunter World. 86.com slash question mark AFF equals 4 and let them know that we sent you.
So I didn't experience that. And like the scene where the spoiler alert, the Dothraki ride into the distance and their swords go out one by one. I saw that crystal clear and it was awesome. It was one of the best fucking moments in the episode. People couldn't see what the fuck was happening.
Yeah. We were kind of, it was funny, we were kind of talking about it too when we were watching it. It's just like, what is going on? Like, part of the time we're just like trying to figure out like what exactly is going on in our TV. And as you can see, in our TV.
What?
No, I was talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is our TV back here.
Dude, that was the darkest episode to date, and it was so fucking hard to see. Like, half
It was
the
meant
action.
to be, though.
So
It was meant to be, though.
I, like, the biggest issue for me, besides not being able to see shit, was how thick the plot armor was for damn near all the main characters.
go on, Greg.
Really,
Oh, can you hear
Really
you?
hear me?
No, you can actually. Hang
Yeah,
on.
I can't, sorry.
Yeah, you can't hear. Hang on. Oh, I'll do this. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, this is Game of Thrones chat.
Yeah,
It is.
you can put on the headphones on.
Yeah,
go.
what's your thoughts on that?
So I completely agree with you on the plot armor.
It's really,
That was absolutely ridiculous, that whole episode. However, the darkness
yeah.
was 100% intentional.
Oh no, I think so too. It like a lot of people had shitty TVs, I guess, including us. So it was kind of hard to decipher some of like who was getting killed and. Like,
Well, yeah, I was just telling Anthony that what was so weird for me was I had no issues with it. I watched it after it streamed and
right.
I saw everything perfectly and was happy with what I saw. And then I went online and everyone's like, "It's too dark and I couldn't see anything." Blah blah. I'm like, what? So it was very weird for me in that context. And then I just kept seeing people bitch about it. And somebody came online and was like, "That's because of the archiving and it being streamed live and all this kind of shit." And I was like, I guess that makes sense. So I guess the Blu-ray is going to be better. The writer came out was like, this show is filmed and meant to be viewed in a dark space.
Right.
Like the show overall is dark, so you got to kind of that's how it's meant to be viewed, not just this episode.
Yeah, and I figure like with the context of the time, anyways, like they don't have advanced lighting or whatever, so it's going to be pretty damn dark.
Yeah. And it stopped for me being too like it stopped. They stopped the super darkness shortly after that first scene where they get attacked.
Yeah.
Like you could see just about everything. It was still dim because it's meant to be like it's in the middle, but yeah, like the issues that could be taken with it is that it's anticlimactic.
It definitely was. I agree.
I personally don't feel it's anticlimactic, but I've heard the argument, and that's a conversation that can be had.
Right.
I don't think bitching about it being too dark is a conversation to be had.
No, I mean, it's a complaint, but it's minor at that. You know what I mean? It's not. It didn't make up the whole episode of wow, this is so dark. You know, it was. I could at least kind of see what was going on probably about most of the time, like 2/3 of the time.
Right. I think a lot of people they just wanted to see the enemy, and I'm sitting there going like, they're zombies, and it's meant to be scary.
Right.
So I don't know what you want to see.
Right, and I mean that did come across. I thought this was definitely like the most frightening episode to date. Just that whole when all the the Dothraki when they all get eliminated, and then the just nothing but darkness, and then seeing that initial wave. Some of the characters I was just shocked to see like still alive. Brienne was the biggest shocker for me. I think she should have died first out of that
They built her up to Yeah, they built her up so much the previous episode. I
Right.
thought for sure she was gonna go. But
Right, like knighted, she finally got her, respect and redemption and all that, but I don't know. And even Podrick, I was like, really? Like these guys are still alive. They got overwhelmed at least 4 times. All of them, Jamie, Podrick, fucking Brienne. The only one that ended up really dying was Lyanna and Ed. So it was like that's kind of weird, I guess, but
It was like 110% plot armor. I think that one character that should have absolutely died was Sam.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he for sure. Like, I know I don't want my boy Sam hurt, but he was like overwhelmed. He was just laying there with the bodies and just stabbing at things and just I was shocked when he was still alive. I was like,
yeah,
really?
it's super. It was really strange to me to see the plot armor for this show, considering they've never really been super strong on plot armor.
Right, and then all of a sudden it's just like, bam, everybody's got it, So
just like, hey, so we took a note from Walking Dead, guys.
Right, yeah, seriously. And then the fact that the Nightwalkers aren't really the end all be all, I was expecting him to be like, the final step of the show, to kind of go further from that, but I don't know. I guess now it's just on the Cersei in the south and trying to kind of conquer that whole situation.
I pointed out to somebody. I said the show has had the ever overlooming threat of the White Walkers,
right?
But it's never been the focus. Like, it's been the focus for a couple plot threads that were quickly tied up,
right? And they were emphasized like last season mostly, but I get that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was talking to a friend, and I'm just like, I'm glad the White Walkers thing is over, because now we can concentrate on what we've been concentrating the entire show.
Right, and more on politics and who's going to really rule over the Iron Throne. So that's a fair point, yeah.
It was an 80-minute episode. Like, it was a goddamn long episode. It was
a long episode. I didn't feel that long, but I mean, in consideration of all the other episodes, it was definitely the longest one to date. But, I mean,
also, RIP to Lyanna, the most badass person in the entire episode.
I know, that was like the saddest death for like the 12-year-old child, getting swiped and then crushed. Like, that's fucking brutal, man. I mean, she definitely went out like a badass though. Stabbing in the eye. That was, it's like, yes, at least that something. But even her turning into like a White Walker or a White, I was like, oh no, this is all fucked. That moment when he like raised the dead again, I was like, holy shit, how are they even gonna, win? This is so hopeless.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll like, if nothing comes of anything that happened in this episode, in the next 3 episodes, then I think we have every right to be like, well, that was blah blah. But
right,
as of right now, it's so up in the air. And
yeah, we'll see if it was really like inconsequential of the whole story, if anything. I hope it at least has some repercussions in the fact that they're like 100,000 people down basically to face this whole South Army coming in, and it's I hope they at least go on that note, being like, yeah, we're struggling right now. We don't have anybody left really. Jorah died, the whole Mormont house died. But I mean, Jorah I saw coming for sure. That was definitely, lined up for him to die.
What I find like it, to me, this entire episode changed the dynamic of what we thought was going to happen.
Right.
The whole show was being taken in a direction where Daenerys was going to take the throne essentially, and now she lost her entire army. So where do we go?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, that's not all the Unsullied are dead though, right? Or is it pretty much the whole, except maybe Grey Worm? I don't even know if he died or not. I don't think he did. He's alive somehow. Okay.
He's alive. He got some plot armor.
Yeah, really thick plot.
No, I think like if there's any Dothraki or Unsullied still alive, it's not a lot. It's very, very
right. So it's just, and then they got the one dragon left, I think, right?
Yes.
If kind of, I mean, it was like being basically like torn apart, but then it survived too. I think, I don't know. That was a little weird.
Yeah, there's a lot that was kind of left up in the air at the end of the episode because we don't know we don't know a lot of information at the moment. We have to
Right,
explore.
that's fair.
But
I
you
at
know-
least like the ending though for the
You
episode.
know that next Sunday's going to open up on Cersei, and it's going to be like, oh, you got to wait for the fucking credits to see
Right.
anything.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. I at least enjoyed the way that the White Walkers were defeated, the Night King was defeated. That was I mean, I like Arya's character. I've liked her since the very beginning, so like I can't help but have this bias of, you know, like, wow, she had a total fucking badass moment killing the Night King and saving Bran, and that was just so awesome. It's kind of like stealth running past them. And
what's really funny to me is that so many people online were calling her a Mary Sue and all this kind of shit, and I'm just like, Mary Sue? Did she trained for 7 seasons?
Right. She's the girl with no face, the man with no name. You know, I'm not surprised that she was the one to kill him. You know, I mean, shit. Like I said, I was like cheering when she did that. I was like, no fucking way, that's sick. So that was.
I'm glad that she was the one that did it. To be honest, like it was cool.
I think that was awesome for her. And then Theon with, you know, the redemption and you know, finally getting the okay, the thank you from Bran, and just kind of like, you know, sacrificing himself. It kind of felt a little pointless with the fact that Arya killed the Night King like directly after that, but I still think that was a great arc for him to kind of, you know, be the man he wanted to be at the end.
Well, I think to an extent, Bran has the same issue that other Foreseers have, and that's, if I tell you the future, it won't happen.
Right.
So I think he knew it was going to happen. He hated it, but you know, it's kind of like, it's just that's the curse of being a three-eyed raven. So
just accept the fact and kind of move on from it. So,
and I think Theon picked up on that too. He knew why Bran was saying that, and he was just kind of like, well.
Yeah. I had a feeling too. I'm like, oh, that's the farewell. That's definitely the death's calling knocking at his door. So
yeah,
you know,
it was a good episode. I'm really happy with how it went. I know that other people were disappointed, but whatever.
yeah. We'll see. Well, I'm honestly, I'm just kind of waiting to see how the rest of the season is going to turn out. They only have like 3 episodes left to wrap up the whole story, so I'm kind of like, how are they going to do that? That's a lot.
Yeah, 3 episodes, and the last 2 are 80 fucking minutes long, and if
wow, I thought the next one was 82.
They're not giant battles, so they're gonna feel like 80 minutes.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. They're gonna be like little mini movies, basically. Some fucking Lifetime channel kind of length movies going on. But yeah, overall, not a bad episode. Very action packed. I mean, at least almost an hour and a half of action. That was pretty awesome. Cut to it straight away. They didn't pull no punches on that shit. They were just like, here we go. Melisandre with the fucking, you know, being the mage there and helping out the Dothraki with the flaming swords. That shit was so cool.
That was really fucking rad.
It's like, why didn't you apply that buff to everybody?
I think because she also knew that it was a fight that they weren't going to win.
Right.
So there's just kind of like I don't know. I think to an extent, Melisandre kind of knew what the future was going to hold.
Mm-hmm.
She even says to I can't think of the guy's name, but she says to him like I'll be dead before dawn.
Oh yeah, to Davos, I think.
Yeah, Davos.
Yeah, and he's like, oh okay, cool.
Yeah, so I think she knew it was going to happen as well, but.
And then just the way that she died was just a little odd, but I was like, all right, well, she wasn't lying. I mean, literally before the dawn. Not even like, not exactly how she meant, but kind of exactly how she said.
There's two scenes with her in this episode that point to me that she always knew the future of things, and that was, yet it doesn't make sense in other episodes just because like. She always seems surprised by certain things. Maybe like they didn't plan it as she had foreseen, but you know, how did she know the phrase? What do we say to death?
Right, that's right. Yeah, there is a lot of speculation online that's like, oh, maybe she's what's his name from the very first season, and she's just like she's just like a shapeshifter or something like that. You know what I mean? Where she knew. and she trained Arya or something. So I don't know. I mean, even then, there's like other episodes where she ran into her and was like, we'll meet again, and you'll be killing basically. You're like the Walking Death. You are killing white eyes, blue eyes, every sort of set of eyes. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see though. I am excited for the next couple episodes. I want to see how this whole thing's closing out. I want to see Cersei dead. I want to see Jaime doing it.
This show deserves the biggest fucking bittersweet ending ever.
Right. Yeah, and I think for Jaime, I'm like, he's like definitely one of my favorite characters at this point. I mean, his road to redemption and from being this incredible asshole to like, wow, I lost all of my sense of honor and power and anything, and then being helped and nurtured by Brienne to kind of get that back in line. And I think he's had one of the best arcs in the whole series for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fascinating character. I personally still don't like him, because it's like, yes, you've changed your ways. You're a better guy. Like there's things you've experienced that have humbled you and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you still fucked your sister, and that's a hard thing for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you bring a fair point to the table. I'm not sure I'm down with sister fuckers either, but that's just how it went back then. So I don't know. Got to keep the power in line, keep that power of nepotism going on.
You're not wrong. Not wrong.
Keep the throne by all means. So, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting finale. I feel like, at least I hope it's gonna be an interesting.
Yeah, really though. I hope it's not as anticlimactic as maybe some parts of this episode were, but I hope at the very least it's a satisfying ending, or that the majority of the fans will feel satisfied with it, including myself.
Yeah, I'm hoping that like the reason for plot armor makes sense in the upcoming episodes.
Right, and that too.
Because that's something I've always touted as like why Game of Thrones is one of the best dramas on TV, because the writers, whether it's past George Martin stuff or
right.
whatever, like they don't give a fuck about who the fans like.
Right, it's very much like every character is on their own, and if they die, they die. They're all mortal beings. They're not minus a few, but they're not they're not like impervious to a sword to the chest or something. So
exactly, and this episode said differently, which is so bizarre. And
right.
I think that I want to have faith that they have a reason for it.
Right.
Like that's. But if they don't, then that's bad.
And it was just kind of odd about some of the whites, where there's some sword wielding ones that were killing people, and then there's other ones that looked like they were more like traditional zombies that were like kind of biting at people. I wasn't 100% sure what rules they were following on that, but I was just kind of like, all right, well,
it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what they are supposed to be, because in the books, you never actually see them in the books. It's always just kind of passively spoken about. Have you read one of the books?
I haven't. No, I've never read any of the books.
It's all done in first person, but each chapter is a different character.
That's right. Yeah, I've at least heard about that, where they're different like character chapters, and each person basically gets their set of chapters in the whole book. So.
Right. So like whenever the White Walkers are talked about, it's very much like what everyone thinks they are, because it's been like 1,000 years since anyone's actually seen one.
Okay, yeah. Like the mysterious beings.
Yeah, so like it was kind of like at one point George was just kind of like, they're like ice zombies, and I think the show writers have kind of gone in a direction they feel it works with it.
Right, they just kind of took that and ran with it, huh?
Yeah. But I also think it has everything to do with like how the Night King wanted to purpose that thing.
Right. And I mean they did, say again and again and again like he is like a king of the dead basically, and that they're the army of the dead, and that they're going to be raised, anybody that's killed is basically going to be a part of that, and so it's a fair point. They did emphasize it like over and over and over again.
Yeah. But yeah, I was happy with it. That's actually been a thing this last weekend. I was happy with both of the holy shit, don't talk about it in spoiler context situation things.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, a lot happened this weekend. A lot of battles, a lot of ass kicking going on, and a lot of badass moments. A lot of badass moments for sure.